Oh,
Recording in progress.
got it. Are we live?
No, we're not live. We're being recorded though, but we're not live.
We're not alive? Is this a simulation?
Wait a minute. Hang on. Did you take the
This
blue
is
pill too?
this is too deep. We can't go this deep this early in the podcast. We got to warm up to it.
I'm ready for it.
All right. Good call. Let's start with the alcohols. I'll go first. Today, I really decided to treat myself, so I bought a bottle of Glenmorangie 14 year.
Oh,
It's the Quinta Ruben,
yeah.
and aged for 14 years, finished in a port oak barrel. And I've always really liked, well, not always, but I like drinking ports, so I figured I would like this. And so far, so good. It's got some beautiful color. But yeah, it's real good. It's real good. Nice and smooth. A lot of different flavors in there.
You don't want to throw up the whole time when you're eating it or drinking it, yeah?
That is correct. I've only had a few sips, but I don't want to throw up yet. That's important. I do think I have some type of allergy to alcohol though, because without fail, when I drink like 15 or 16 drinks, I throw up every time. So it must be some type of allergy. It's weird, right?
No, I'm kind of
weird.
I'm kind of in the same neighborhood. You throw a dozen drinks in me, maybe a little bit more. They're coming up. Something's coming up.
That's crazy, huh? Some weird allergy. I guess we both have it.
Who'd have thought, man? Well, I am
me.
drinking this stuff. It's from a distillery called Rabbit Hole. I don't know anything about it, but it's the yeah. I don't know.
Rabbit Hole.
Rabbit Hole. I just got it. The bottle look cool.
That's important.
Yeah. It's a high rye. I like a good rye.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about it, like I said, but the distillery is just up there. Well, not up there. It's over.
they're in the roof,
roughly.
Okay.
Up in Louisville.
Nice.
It's interesting. So here we go.
Cheers.
Okay, not great, not bad. It's no it's no Balvenie. Well, it's not a Scotch at all, but it wasn't very expensive.
Hey, it gets the job done.
That should tell you everything you need to know.
I always like reading the descriptions of these whiskeys, and it talks about like all the different flavor profiles on it. Like, where is it? I remember reading this earlier. Oh, here we go. So this whiskey offers a nose of rose-scented Turkish delight. Very specific, first of all, not just Turkish delight, but rose-scented Turkish delight, honeysuckle, tangerines, and dark chocolate. Blah, 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 blah. Leads to the taste of berries and nutmeg, entwined with mint chocolate and Seville orange, and then a bold, deep finish. Like they're just fucking making stuff up. You know what I'm saying? How do people taste that? That's crazy.
How do they know? What if your taste buds are different than another guy?
I mean, I can tell. Like you can. That's a lot. It's a lot. You can tell for a good whiskey. Like for sure, the average person can tell. Like, oh yeah, like this has a deeper flavor. Yeah. And it doesn't feel like rubbing alcohol. So like you can judge it in that way. I don't like with some wines, I can kind of pick up some of the different flavors that they're talking about, but like, I don't know, man. Maybe this needs to air out a little more, but it just tastes like whiskey to me. So it's all I need, though.
So this stuff is kind of I don't really know how to categorize bourbons or whiskey other than just if they taste good or not.
Yeah.
This stuff is super, super smoky, I guess.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. But it's kind of got a little bit of rubbing alcohol when it goes down, when it hits the palate.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, well, it is 95 proof, I guess. So that's a little higher than usual.
That's pretty high.
At least for like regular commercial, not small batch whiskeys.
Yeah.
That could have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The key with that is you just got to drink a lot right away, and then you can't.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get that bite as much, you know.
I'm gonna test that.
Oh boy, this one's actually pretty high. This one's 92 proof, but I can't tell. It's a good whiskey. It did cost a little more though, but
A 14-year-old will.
it's true. That's true. I normally get the like regular Glenmorangie. It comes in an orange box that I think it's a 10-year, maybe it's 8. I don't know, I think it's 10, but I get that one. That one's like $45 for a liter. So that one's a bit more expensive than this one, but I like that one. It's just like real light, kind of aromatic, smooth, you know?
Gets the job done, you know?
It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. I saw a guy buy a couple bottles of American honey. Have you ever had that?
I've seen it, but I've never had it.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to like Jack honey. So just imagine cheap whiskey with like honey imbued, so it's sweet. So like it's good, but you're not drinking that really to enjoy yourself. You're drinking that to get messed up, you know?
Yeah. Well, Jordan just texted me. He's not going to make it.
That son of a gun. I can't believe he's robbing our audience the chance to see
I don't know. Not only is he robbing our audience, he's robbing us of the use of his awesome soundboard he's got.
That's true. Oh, I forgot about that. We should have downloaded something.
We could have had a lot of fun with it.
We'll add that to the improves list. Next podcast. We'll add that to the improves list for the next podcast. I'm gonna write it down. This is good. It's real highbrow stuff. Some people might not get it.
Hey, careful now.
Just knocking stuff down. Got my whiteboard.
Solid. Real solid.
So what you been up to, man? What's the dealio? What you been doing lately?
Dude, I've just been trying to not get got. You know what I mean?
Who's trying to get you?
Huh?
Who's trying to get you?
Oh, you know what I mean. Yeah.
No doubt.
At least hundreds.
Wow. That's a lot.
I also might be borderline schizophrenic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
At least that makes you interesting. You know, I thought you were pretty boring before, but now
Everything.
I don't have any friends that are schizophrenic right now. But now you can be like my token schizophrenic friend.
Oh, that's kind of racist, but
I can use that as a trump card to win arguments. Like, no, I'm friends with the schizophrenic. I can say this, it's fine.
For the record, I'm not schizophrenic at all.
Okay, I didn't think you were. I think I would have noticed
Probably
some symptoms.
Yeah,
Unless it's like super recent.
Hey, never know. No, man, I hadn't been up to much. Just working and spending a bunch of time with Avery or as much as I can, and yeah,
Nice.
having fun. I had
That's
my
good.
first, oh, here's a fun one. I had my first appointment with a VA today.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy.
It went well?
It went well, but initially I was scared.
Sure.
So she booked me, or I guess my representative or whatever booked me for a 9 a.m. meeting.
Yeah.
And in true VA fashion, it got postponed to 10. For my first ever meeting, my first ever exposure with the VA. So I thought, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that. But it went well, I guess. Yeah, it's only Tuesday, so I haven't really done much.
Okay.
What's popping in T's world, huh?
Well, all my household goods finally arrived.
Yeah.
Pretty happy about that. I have like a real mattress to sleep on. I'm not sleeping on a air mattress anymore, which
Exciting.
is phenomenal. I've been getting all like this weird like back and joint pain more than usual, and it's been getting pretty bad lately. So I'm pretty happy that I have a real mattress. I think that's going to help. Why do I have this pop up? Yeah, so I got some furniture. That's exciting. Got my fishing kayak. I'm excited
That's
to take
good.
that bad boy out.
Hobie.
Hoping to do some catfish fishing this weekend. I got a guy I work with, and he does like local tournaments for
Really?
catfish, which is pretty dope. So he did one this past weekend. He won $5,000, which is
What?
crazy. Yeah,
What do
I
you
mean,
do
like
for?
he's got a boat and like he buys nice stuff, so
Yeah.
it's not like whatever. He's really just like paying himself back to like cover all the costs of fishing that he's done. But yeah, he does a bunch of tournaments. I think it's from what he's talking about, it sounds like they have a series of tournaments in the summer and then culminating with the championship. He got like fifth place or something
Mhm.
for this past one. And then I guess there's like another series in the fall or winter where they'll start up again. So he didn't make like the championship, playoff equivalent for catfish tournaments, but still pretty cool though. Yeah.
How do you
$5,000.
how do you catch catfish for tournament? They're not really like a sporty fish, they're more like a bottom dweller. Do you just like throw out a
They
bunch of
can be.
can they really? I don't know a lot about
Yeah.
the only like glimpse of the world of catfishing I have ever seen is thrown out drop
Yeah.
lines or jug lines. Yeah, jug lines.
I gotcha. Yeah, so there's a lot of tournaments. When I was living in Missouri, I found some different tournaments. They're mostly in like really big lakes and bigger rivers.
Mhm.
So he's done some in the Potomac River, which is a big river, obviously, and then the St. James River, another river in Virginia. That was this last one. But I mean, there's definitely some technique, especially for where we're at. All the rivers, the St. James and the Potomac feed into the Chesapeake Bay.
Right.
Chesapeake Bay, super close to the Atlantic Ocean. So there's actually a big tidal influence. So depending on like where you're at in the tides, the water will be moving upriver because of like the tide coming in and pushing it in, which is just like super weird. It's like, it's not right. This river's going backwards. It's supposed to go the other way.
I think
It's supposed
that's
to go
one
into
of
the ocean.
that might be one of the prophecies for in the world.
There's something crazy happened. Yeah, but so he said the way he fishes in these rivers compared to other places he's lived is just super, super different
Yeah,
because, the tide like changes how to fish in these rivers.
right.
So that's pretty cool. But yeah, he said like I was asking a bunch of questions yesterday about it, and he talked me through like all the different like bait presentations he does, and like depending on like what bait's there and like the water color and the water temperature, he changes up like the different types of bait that he uses. And yeah, so there's a bit that goes into it, but it kind of comes down to putting a big bait on the bottom
Yeah.
where you think the catfish are going to be.
Have you ever seen people who do noodling? Do you know what that is?
Of
Dude,
course.
that blows my mind. I want to try it one time. I saw this video. I guess it was somewhere on like Instagram or somewhere on the interwebs. I don't remember. There was this girl, not a very big girl. She's probably, I don't know, 5 feet tall, 100 pounds, 120 pounds, whatever. Not a big woman. And she goes under the water, and I guess they did a brief explanation of what she was doing, right? So she goes under the water and she reaches her hand like as a fist into this box, right?
Yeah.
So they build these boxes, I guess, and put them out. I don't know a ton about it, but they build these boxes and put them out, and the catfish will spawn in them. They'll nest in them, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She'll reach in and just, do that number. And the catfish is like, holy shit, this thing is trying to take my eggs. Not today, Satan, and bites the shit out of her hand, and she pulls it up.
Yeah.
It was a, what was it? It was a channel cat, or it was a blue cat? I don't know. This thing had to weigh 50 pounds, 50 or 60 pounds, because it was every bit as tall as she, or as long as she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insane. And it was like
That's wild, man.
her around and all that while she's in the water. I was like, good golly.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah, man, that'd be wild.
It
the
showed the
big
aftermath
three.
of her forearm, and it was like kind of torn up from like
Oh yeah.
bit.
Oh
Like
yeah.
those dudes have some freaking jaw strength, I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, their mouths are like, real coarse sandpaper, and then they're
Mhm.
big fish. So yeah, they got a pretty strong bite strength, and a lot of them, I think they kind of like barrel roll like an alligator. So
Yeah.
they'll grab onto you and just like start going crazy and spinning, and yeah, that'll tear you up. I've seen videos though where guys will like go like 5 feet underwater to get to
Mhm.
where the catfish are. And like they have a buddy that'll like wait like 30 seconds and then pull them out if they don't come up. It's crazy. I haven't heard of people making those little artificial like boxes though for
Yeah.
them to nest in. That's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty neat. I was blown away. Like this tiny little, like, I mean, she's probably our age. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
tiny petite woman is just yanking out these giant fish. I was like, good grief.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's wife material right there, man. That's the good stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Mm.
What else, man? You been fishing? Have you gone fishing? Or are
Um,
you just talking about fishing a bunch?
nah, you know me. I just like to talk about it, act
I
like I
hear you.
do it.
Well, I mean, most
No, I
fishers
didn't.
just talk about it anyway.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I didn't go this past weekend, but I went the weekend before, just fishing up in like one of the smaller rivers that feeds into the Potomac River. I went like 4 miles upstream. It was really pretty though. Nice, clean, cool water. I just caught a bunch of, little sunfish, like 4 or 5 inches. It was a lot of fun though.
You got
Nice,
any
pretty
plans?
area.
You got any plans for the Hobie? Where are you gonna take
Yeah,
it?
man. I want to take it out on the Potomac this coming weekend. Try to catch some catfish. So I've already looked at, like all the nautical charts, of course, to see where like the river channels are. And
Mhm.
but I was thinking that like this time of year, guys would go for catfish pretty much right in the deeper part of the channel, or at least right next to it. But the guy I was talking to said this time of year they'll come up in the flats because like this part of the Potomac River where I'm at, there's a ton of mussels, so it just forms like these flats that are just mussel shoals and pebbles. So
Yeah.
the catfish will come up into shallower, but still probably like 10 to 20 feet deep.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm glad he told me that because I would have spent all my time fishing in like the deep part of the channel, which is like 60 to 80 feet.
Good grief.
So yeah, so I got some ideas. I got some places scoped out. I'm gonna check out with the Hobie, just kind of try drifting through the river. I'll get some worms or something to catch like some bluegill, and then use
Yeah.
that as cut bait. I think
Mhm.
we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah,
Dad's been fishing, not a bunch, but he's been fishing again finally.
nice.
Yeah, he's been talking about going fishing for like at least 3 or 4 years, and he just never got around to going.
Yeah,
I don't know.
nice.
I think he said he caught like 2 or 3 brim and 2 or 3 small bass. I don't know.
It's a good day, man.
Yeah, any day
Nothing
fishing
wrong with
better
that.
than any day working. So I mean,
Just about, yeah,
no,
just about.
absolutely.
And you don't even like fishing that much,
Mhm.
so that says something.
I'll fish all day if there's beer and you and no
Yeah,
work.
you like to fish because you like being outside and you like to hang out and
No, I just
away
need
from
beer.
most people and the alcohol, obviously. It's good.
And if you can't catch anything, at least you'll catch a buzz. You know what I mean?
Hey, someone's got to.
At least.
Oh
I'm
man.
actually taking Kelsey down to Birmingham this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's been thinking about moving. She doesn't really like Nashville much anymore. It's kind of
Yeah, I
a little
remember
too-
her
yeah.
telling me that.
a little too busy, a little too crazy
Yeah.
for her. So she is coming down to Beeham this weekend, and we're gonna do stuff. Yeah,
Cool. Do
stuff.
some things. Hit up Papa Tom.
Papa T.
Hit him up. He'd
I
love
was-
to see you guys.
I always forget he lives in Birmingham.
Yeah. Yeah.
Papa
I mean, it's in like our life, it's recent-ish
Mhm.
still. Yeah. Yeah, he'd love to see you, man. He watches all these YouTube videos. I don't know if I believe him 100%, but he told me he does.
That's
And
what
he'll text me stuff. Yeah, he's like number one supporter probably. But he'll like text me like, "Oh, I started your video, like it's real good. Like I just watched 20 minutes of it." So I can tell he does it in like pieces, but then he'll text me about something specific that I said. Like, "Oh yeah, like I thought it was funny that like you or like Christian said this." And I'm like, "Oh man, like he does watch the whole video." Like that wasn't at the beginning. So yeah, it's funny. He says he watches it, or he doesn't watch, he listens to it on the way to work,
Nice.
which we need to get on an actual podcast platform. So that's going to be the goal for this next podcast. Get it on an actual podcast platform because that's what I do. I like to listen to podcasts when I'm driving because it's like
Yeah,
a 30-minute ish commute for me to work and
really.
back.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so I don't mind paying gas sucks, but like I
Well,
kind of like driving, especially after living in Kuwait for 12 months without my own
yeah.
car. So
And like when the weekend hits, the weekend hits. You are
oh
no.
yeah, like you're not like hanging out with people from work because you like
Yeah.
all live together. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I chose this place. Like I don't think anybody. This is pretty far. It's pretty far from where I work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only like 8 miles or so. So I've been a lot of guys ride their bikes into work. So
Hmm.
I've been thinking about getting a little road bike and doing
Sure.
that some days. Be good, man. Like that'll be my workout right there. You know.
Sure. Might as well.
Yeah. Yeah, my boss does it actually. It's funny. He's like a serious cyclist though. He does like semi-pro like competitions. He's
Hmm.
like a real serious cyclist, which is
Hmm.
kind of funny. I don't know if you knew him, I don't know. It's kind of funny to me. He's like a real intense guy. He's just like kind of short, but he's like real intense and serious and I don't know.
Little
I
man.
like him though. He's not like angry, like he's a chill dude. He's just kind of like he kind of has like this quiet intensity about him, but he's not an asshole or anything, which is great. I really appreciate that. You get a lot of bosses that are just
Oh,
like loud and like,
right here.
listen here, you little shit. So he's not like that, which is good.
Well, cool, man.
Yeah.
Man. So, what do you think about? Is it Puerto Rico that's flooding right now?
It is flooding.
It
Yeah, a
feels
hurricane. I forget the name of it. Yeah, hurricane hit Puerto Rico.
How awful is that?
They're not even recovered from the last one.
I know,
When
and I
was that?
was
Like 4 or 5 years ago?
something like that. Probably. I think it
They
was
got
5 years ago. What was that one? Was that? Uh,
I don't remember. I want to say Maria, but I'm
it,
not.
it was Maria, Hurricane Maria.
Okay. Yeah,
I read
yeah,
about
because
that the other day. Yeah.
it was right after I got in the army, or right at around the time I got in.
Mm.
So yeah, that would have been right about 5 years ago then. Yeah, man, but they got wrecked,
Mm.
and now they're getting. I don't mean this one doesn't seem as bad, but still, like, man, those poor people. It's tough.
Hey, move. I
Sure,
mean,
if you can.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah, Putin almost made a big announcement or like almost gave like a big press address, however you say that. It was like 3 hours ago as we're talking right now, but that was like midnight for Russia. So everyone was kind of like, what the heck is going on? The last time he did a big like press release like that was when Russia invaded Ukraine. So
Yeah.
I had like some guys that I work with like message the link and we were talking about it back and forth. Then he ended up canceling it and it's supposed to be tomorrow. So we'll see what that's about.
Hmm.
It looks like he's getting old though, man.
You
The
know,
big
I
question is like who's gonna be next? Because
who's
he's
gonna
been
lead?
basically running things for like 30 years.
Honestly, like, I actually read somewhere that like some sort of traffic was intercepted, and it was I don't know how true it is, but it basically stated that Putin has some sort of terminal ailment or cancer or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is probably, I guess, not justifying, but kind of making sense of the whole Ukrainian invasion thing. I gotta leave my
Sure.
legacy or whatever before I die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's what the thing's about, the pot or the news or the address.
Yeah, you might be right. I yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, I've seen some pictures of him recently, though. Yeah, he's not looking.
he doesn't look
He's
good.
not. He's not looking like the Putin we saw riding on a bear photoshopped.
Shirtless, just looking jacked.
Mhm.
He's starting to look like Biden. Oof.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Biden.
No, don't spill now.
I'm not spilling. Don't yell at me.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah,
Nice and
enjoying it.
smooth.
Dude, we've already been talking for 35 minutes. Can you believe that?
You're lying. I
No.
love talking to you, man.
Hey, it's exciting. It's fun.
This is good. Every now and then, though, I have like a little story or like something that happened. I'll be like, "Oh, I gotta tell Christian." And no, I gotta save it for the podcast. And then I don't remember it, or I do talk about it.
Did you ever
It's
tell
not
us
that
that
interesting.
story? Did you ever tell us that story you told me to remind you about alcohol?
Yeah, as you were saying that, I remembered or I realized what you're referring to. I don't think I did talk about that. I thought about it the last podcast, and I was like, I don't know if I want to tell our viewers about that,
Well,
but you brought it up, so. And I've had a glass and a half of whiskey, so I'm clearly
just so long
intoxicated.
as it's nothing, incriminating or
It's not incriminating. It's something I think about not a lot, but it's not. Oh, well, before we get to this, we got to talk about our poops. I can't believe I forgot this. I'm sorry. I know our listeners are on the edge of their seats. They're wondering how
they gotta know,
been recently. This is what we tune in for, to hear about poops.
Honestly,
how have your poops been recently?
Dude, they have been top notch.
Hell yeah, man. I'm happy for you.
Good and regular, man. I'm all the gastrointestinal system is functioning very well.
I'm happy to hear that.
It's nice. It's a thing I take for granted quite often.
Yeah.
It's easy to take for granted, but yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, dog?
Well, good, man. Mine it's not been good. It's not been good lately. For about a week, most days.
What, are you nervous about something or what?
No, I'm not nervous. So there's like two big life changes. So one, and I told you about this, but I cut down on my tobacco use like a ton. So for those that don't know, I use dip, or like chewing tobacco comes in a little can. But I was going through like almost a can a day, which is terrible for you. It's like 145 milligrams of nicotine, which is awful. I'll let you do the math online for those that are curious to see what that equates to compared to like a pack of cigarettes. But it's not good. It's not good. So, you get to the point, and it's the same with like caffeine, where you're taking in so much of it that it's like, this doesn't even like benefit me anymore.
Yeah, you're losing the whole point of it.
Yeah, it's like I'm so built up, and it's like I'm doing it constantly, and it doesn't make me feel good, but it makes me feel bad if I go too long without using it. So, like we talked about like supplements and vitamins and stuff on one of our previous podcasts. So I'm trying to make like healthier life choices. So it's like, all right, like I gotta start trying to cut this stuff out for real. So I've cut out, like, I think I'm using 75% less of what I was using. So I was using about a can a day. But in the past 7 days, I've used like just under 2 cans. And I've also used like a couple pieces, like I bought some of that, like nicotine gum. So I've had a couple pieces of that just to like cut the edge. But what's that?
It's a crutch. You don't need that.
So I tried. I went one day, and I was like 24 hours without nicotine, and I felt terrible. I had headaches all day, like just like a foggy brain. I couldn't concentrate. I was super irritable, and I gave in. 24 hours in, I was like, all right, I'm gonna break this up. But I've been consistently using very little, so
yeah.
But I'm gonna have to make like another. I'm gonna have to make another cut, because like right now I have like 2, maybe 3 pinches a day, and I'll have 1 or 2 pieces of that nicotine gum. So I need to like either go cold turkey from here, which I think my body's a little bit adjusted to less nicotine, so it should be all right. So either go cold turkey from here or go like one step down, like cut out tobacco completely, just use the nicotine gum.
Okay.
But I had tried like scaling down in the past little by little because it's like, oh, like this will be easier. But then like you just never go down that much. Like, or I'll go down for a little bit and then something stressful will happen and I'll
Right.
start using more again. So I was like, I gotta just make like a big change. And I did, but it has affected my poops for sure. So for anyone thinking about cutting out tobacco or another nicotine source, they can affect your poops, no doubt about that. But
Well,
it'll definitely be better in the
we're at
long
a minute.
run.
We're at a minute remaining.
Okay, you want to close this one out and start a new?
I do. And we'll edit this. Sound good?
Okay,
All
sounds
right.
good.
I'll hit you back in a minute.
Okay.
Two. Hi, you're back.
Are we live?
No,
I thought we were recording before. I'll say
Again.
it again.
we're not live. We're recording. What we're doing. We're not live. Like no one's actually watching this right now.
We are dead. I think we should do that in the future. Do our podcast live because then people can like, like call in or like text in. There could be some guest interaction or some whatever. You know what I mean?
Hey, sure.
Maybe we'll talk about it.
It's about that story.
Yeah, it's not like that big of a story, but so when I was
If you're
when I was
comfortable.
living, no, it's fine. I'll talk about it. I think it's good to talk about stuff like this. When I was living in Missouri, I, for a short time, kind of thought I was an alcoholic. And what happened, and it's funny because Missouri is that's probably the easiest job that I've had in 5 years. And there's a lot of stuff that was really frustrating, which is why it was hard, but like it was all like low stakes. You know what I mean? Like if I screwed up, like didn't really matter. Like nothing bad would happen. No one was really going to be affected by me screwing up. But anyway, so for a while I was like coming home, have a drink, and then it was like I'd get home, immediately have a drink or a couple of drinks. And then I noticed at some point I like woke up and my first thought is like, oh man, I can't wait to have those margaritas on the rocks after work, which is funny. But then I was like, oh shit, like that's really bad. So that's my first thought waking up. Like that's scary. Am I an alcoholic? And there's like I went, I don't know, probably like a week where it was like one of my first thoughts. I was like craving alcohol, and I was like, all right, I gotta cut this out for a bit. Like this is not healthy that I'm craving this. So I went like cold turkey. I went about 6 weeks without drinking, and then I felt comfortable resuming drinking again after that. I haven't had that issue since, but like, man, that's a scary feeling to like wake up and think that, and then be like, oh my God, like why am I craving this?
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. Anyway, that's it. That's really the whole story. It's really not a good story, but
Well, I mean, it's a story,
yeah. I didn't do anything bad while I was drinking. It just obviously wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
Drugs, man. Watch out for drugs, kids.
Hey,
my Aunt Michelle's watching this. Your opinion of me has drastically changed, I know.
But it's fine because we're adults, so who cares?
You can judge me. I don't care. I'm an open book, especially after I've had one alcohol. Inhibitions are out the door.
You're not a book.
I am a lightweight, though.
You're a Toby.
I am a Toby. It's my nickname in high school.
Yeah.
Heard
that before.
Let's talk about drugs, since we're already talking about them. We talked about nicotine, talked about alcohol, both legal in some capacity, at least if you're of age in the United States.
Hey, drugs are bad.
They can be good though. Caffeine's a drug. It's good in moderation.
It's not a drug. You take that back.
It is a drug. It's a neurological stimulant. stimulant. It's a I'm so drunk, I'm slurring my words. It's a neurological stimulant. That is a drug.
I don't want to
That is a
acknowledge
drug.
that, so no, it's not.
You don't have to acknowledge that. A lot of people watching this, out of the 10 people that watch it, don't want to acknowledge that alcohol is a drug, probably, because everyone uses it. It's a drug, man. Nicotine's a drug. Alcohol's a drug. Caffeine is a drug. They're all legal drugs.
Your love,
You got some.
my drug.
It's not a real drug in that way, and that it's not a chemical stimulant or depressant, I guess.
Does it
Depending on
not?
how you look at it.
Does it not stimulate the chemistry of your brain like love? I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Well, so the stimulating thing by itself does not make it a drug.
Yes.
Okay, well then sure. Love is a drug. Love can be a drug for you if you want.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
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 All right. So who's next on the guest list? Like after Jordan?
I wasn't done talking about drugs, but that's all right.
Fine. I don't want to acknowledge any more about my vices.
Okay, we don't have to talk about drugs. We didn't even get to talk about any of the fun illegal ones. I had all sorts of good talking points from local research that I've been doing, or recent research that I've been not local, not taking drugs, guys. Just the main 3 legal ones that we talked about: nicotine, alcohol, caffeine. Obviously, I've had all of those today, but no illegal ones. So, I think we should have Hannah on. She would be great because I can ask her a bunch of health and science questions, put her on the spot, and she actually knows what she's talking about because she's a medical doctor. Unlike you and I that like read a few articles here and there. We feel like we know things.
We could look up something just absolutely wazoo, like in the medical field, crazy, and ask her about it. And when she doesn't know anything about it, we'll say, ha, fake doctor.
You call yourself a doctor. You don't know every aspect of medicine.
Burn your diploma.
No, I am for sure going to ask her some off the wall stuff. I'll probably prep her for some. Yeah. I think it's good to like not lead people. Like I don't want, when we have people on, I don't want to lead them too much. Like I'm going to tell them that we're going to ask them about how their poops have been, so that doesn't.
You're going to get roasted to some extent too.
Yeah, for sure. But I just want them to have like an honest response. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to have Hannah. I'll have to check with her schedule. She doesn't have like a regular schedule. Being a medical doctor, it kind of fluctuates week to week.
Sure.
But we'll see if we can get her on, ask her some medical questions. We can ask her about student loans and her thoughts on student loans and student loan forgiveness as well. See what she thinks about that.
Probably got quite a few of those having a doctorates.
Going to medical school. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, she has. Yeah, I don't know if she has. I'm sure she has a bunch. But I read recently that the student loan forgiveness, it's only going to be for like $10,000, I think, or like a max of $10,000.
That's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, for people that went to medical school.
Honestly, for like a lot of for most bachelors, even that's 10 grand isn't a lot of money.
Yeah,
it might be. It might be 20%, which is big, but it's still not that much. I knew it was just a way to get votes the whole time. I knew it. I called it.
Hey, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Probably.
Politicians are always campaigning.
I wonder did you end up with any student loans?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I wonder
because I had everything covered, pretty much everything covered through scholarships. I would have like some random like fees. So like I had textbooks and like you get the random student fees that you can't use scholarships for, but that was all. I paid all those out of pocket. It wasn't very much. It was like $500 to $600 a semester or something. Not too much.
I wonder if guys like you and I who never needed any student loans can just cash out that 10 grand.
We should get a fat check.
We should.
10K.
We should. I mean, how come they can have it? Folks who mismanage their money. It's kind
of. We need a fat check for 10.
Uh-oh, we lost you again. It was going so good. Oh, you're back. Hey.
Oh, I just said something really good. New business idea. We're going to take that fat check for 10K, 20K total, if my math is correct. And we're going to invest it in drugs, in the drug business.
What? Okay, we're gonna go back to my Colombia idea. We're gonna take over Colombia.
Oh no, not Colombia again.
He said you wanted to get into the drug business. That's a good place to start.
And I don't want to like. I'm not ready for it needs to start in the U.S. Maybe we
I'm ready.
expand to international
I'll make
at some point.
Okay.
All right, just I'm not there yet. I need like at least a
$20,000.
year.
That's all we need.
I need at least a year of doing business domestically before we go international.
Why?
Just because like I need some stability in my life, man.
Do you though?
I want stability in my life.
We'll be all right.
Hey, we're 50-50 partners, all right? So 10K, half and half, 50-50.
Are you sure that math adds
50-50.
up? I'm not so sure.
I'm not real good at math. I've had a couple glasses of whiskey, but
Yeah.
we're gonna go with it, I think.
So Colombia is definitely like in the it's in the cards, you would say, or
I'm not saying get rid of the idea outright.
all I need
Let's
to
keep
do.
that one. Keep that one. All right, yeah. Keep that one in the back pocket. I'm not gonna say anymore.
Okay.
We'll edit that part out. Why these guys joke so much about doing illegal things internationally?
Work on your Spanish, buddy.
Oh boy, FBI is gonna be knocking at our door.
That's all right.
Hello? How do you? This isn't even live. How do you hear this?
I knew.
How did you get here? Oh man, knocked over my marker basket.
What did you do that for?
Because I'm fidgety. I like moving my hands around on the table.
Yeah,
And when there's stuff in the way, I knock it over sometimes.
I'm super fidgety too. That's why I keep my hands like occupied by like pinching on my my scars and scabs and stuff. Big fidgeter guy.
Oh, there you go. Pick those scabs to make the scars.
Oh yeah.
There you go. It's good for you.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but I'll reach out to Hannah. I think she'll be a good. We may have to record on a different day, but we're recording this on a different day out of the norm. So
Yeah.
we'll make it work.
Maybe we
Get
can
a bunch of views.
Maybe we can recruit her for Colombia.
I think it's a little early to be bringing anybody in.
I disagree.
About Colombia. I think we
never-
should not bring that up during the podcast. Hannah, unlike us, Hannah is a respected professional. All right. She has a reputation, a good reputation. All right. We don't want to take that away from her. Not yet, anyway.
All I'm saying is I know enough. I know a lot or decent. I don't know a lot about medical stuff.
I have a ton of questions. I'm really excited.
No, I'm talking about Colombia. I know enough to probably keep you from dying, but we're gonna need.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we're gonna need.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree that we need to have a medical person on the team.
I know enough to keep you probably alive for a little while, but we're gonna need a doctor.
I don't think she'd be interested in that. She's a pediatrician, so
I could be a kid.
Well, we act like kids, but like not in an acute way. And I'm like, oh, like how old are they?
Are we sure they're in their late 20s?
Like that's kind of sad. Yeah.
Those two on Make-A-Wish at some point?
Oh man. Anyway, yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait before we bring Hannah into the fold on Colombia. All right.
All right. Put the markers down.
I'm a fiddler. Quit yelling at me.
Fiddler and the Rye? What? Did you get it?
You're done.
I'm not. I thought that was pretty good. Okay.
I'm still upset that Jordan abandoned us.
You know, he's a dad, so that's kind of, I get it.
All right, you can pull the dad card, I guess. Or
I get it though. Yeah.
I listened to a podcast one time where the guy brought his child. It was a Joe Rogan podcast. The guy he was interviewing was, oh man, I I think he had a PhD in biochemistry, and he worked in like medicine, but like nutrition stuff. So like that type of
I wonder if he wants to
biochemistry.
help us in Colombia.
We gotta like, we're not at a point where we can be bringing people onto our plan. Like we got to do some developing, you and I,
It's
because right now it's
never
like,
too
hey,
soon to
you
start
want to
building
like,
a team.
right now it's like, hey, you want to do illegal stuff with us in Colombia? Like we need a better, we need like some numbers, be like, hey, like this is the growth revenue, projected profits.
All of it.
We need that type of number stuff. So we probably need a number guy because I don't know if you and I can do this. So we need to come up with some more concepts. Then we bring in a number guy. There's
Avery's
some
an
more
accountant.
development.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
It was meant to be.
You guys will be like a Bonnie and Clyde here.
Minus the whole like ramping a car off of a cliff.
No, we'll see. Too soon to say. Too soon to say.
know.
There's time for that.
I don't think so.
Oh man.
Uh,
Anyway, enough about
Colombia,
Colombia.
beautiful country, third most beautiful in the world. I'm ready.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You brought it up a bunch. You brought it up last podcast. Poor Kelsey, scared to death.
I'm
Who's we? Who's we?
I'm pretty passionate about it.
I can tell. It's good to have passions about things, you know.
You gotta
Just maybe let this one be one that you play a little closer to chest for now, you know.
no.
Okay. Okay. Who else? Who else do you think we should interview? We got to interview Nancy and Mike, obviously.
I think before we start bringing family in, like actual like blood family, we should bring in the boys.
We already brought in blood. Our first guest was your sister.
Okay. You're right. I should have been like, I should have said parents. Sorry.
I guess I don't really think about her that way.
I forgot she was-
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry.
Well, we tried to bring Jordan on.
I'm talking like Gabe and Jose.
Okay. Scavenger Man's gonna be tough to find.
He's gonna be late. We're gonna film 80 minutes worth of product.
Well,
and
I just gotta I'm about to get in the shower and then I'm gonna turn over some laundry.
Hang on.
All right, bro. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sorry, I'm doing laundry.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Just pause it. This is why we need to do a live podcast, because then like there's consequences.
You're right. How would we
You
do
know?
live? How would that work? I wonder.
I know how to do it on YouTube. I don't know about other platforms.
All right, works for
But
me.
we could do it on YouTube and then put it on whatever thing that puts it on the podcast platforms. So yeah, bro, I'm down. Gabe, Jose, let's do it. Let's get them on here.
I think that'd be a good move. I think that would be very, very fruitful for us.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Just the boys. You want to do them all at the same time or just one at a time? I'm worried it would get kind of busy if we had more than 3 people,
Agreed.
especially with all of
fun.
us. People wouldn't be able to keep up.
Yeah, it would be fun to do it all together, but no one would understand what's going on.
That's true.
I think.
Man, I wish we could.
One other.
Yeah, I wish we could do these in person. It's a bummer. We're not closer together, man. One of these weekends, we don't live that far away though. I forget that I'm not like across the world or across the country.
It's true.
I'm only like 10 hours from you, which is a little bit. One of these long weekends during a government holiday, I'll have to come out. I'll have to drive out, or you can drive to me. We'll figure something out.
Or fly, whatever.
Hannah only lives like hour and a half from me. She lives
Oh,
down in Richmond, so she can come up for an in-person podcast. I'll have to get some more equipment. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Just put the camera further back.
At least.
All right, so Gabe and Jose in the next couple weeks. We'll give Jordan one more shot,
One more.
and then Hannah. Then he goes to the back of the queue. I think my dad would be fun to interview too. He can give us some financial wisdom. That'd actually be good. He'd actually, unlike you and I, who would just like joke around the whole time, he would have some stuff that people would be like, oh, like that's really good. That's
You would
interesting.
have
That's
some
useful info.
insightful insight.
You
Yeah.
and I are like, isn't alcohol crazy? One time I thought I was an alcoholic.
We're gonna invade Colombia. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Papa Tom is, well, if you
Be
manage
like,
to
it's like, yeah, I'm actually a professional in this area of finance that like literally everyone needs to know finance stuff.
it's true.
And I wish I could have come up with something better than what I did just there. But he could have like useful info that people would be like, wow, like that's useful compared to people watching us and like laughing at how dumb we are. But hey, viewers are viewers. You know what I'm saying? Beggars can't be choosers.
Agreed. They're begging for the content. We got to give it to them.
They're begging for it, man. They're begging for it. All 20 viewers.
It was 10 earlier. What happened there?
No. We're going down. We're going on this downward trend.
Hang
It's
on.
not good.
I'm gonna set an alarm before I get too drunk and forget.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
What about my mom and dad? You think
I think they'd be great. I
I think
think
that'd be a
both
pretty
of
small
them
duo, you know?
both of them are hilarious. They probably have really good medical stories too.
Yeah. Or embarrassing childhood stories of me, which would be good.
I
And
would
you.
enjoy embarrassing stories.
And you, I'm sure they got something for you too. You know?
No, there are no embarrassing stories about me, unfortunately.
I don't know about that. Hang on, let me think about one.
I just own up to all of them right away. That's my newest tactic.
All right, fair enough.
Like talking about how I thought I was an alcoholic.
Like, yeah, that was me.
Good times. No, yeah, I think those are all good options.
Agreed.
We just need to look at who our subscribers are and like work through.
Does it tell you
Work
that
through
on
the
YouTube
list.
who's subscribed?
So I tried looking for that a while ago. I didn't spend that much time on it, but I couldn't find if it shows you that. So maybe not.
We need to find out who those people are and hit them up and say, "Hey,
Like,
hang out
thank
with us."
you.
we will." Oh, that too. Thanks.
Yeah.
But yes, we should say, "Hey, come hang out with us. We'll
We've
we
got a
won't
bunch.
give
We've
you
got like
anything, but we'll give you a good time. That's it."
Yeah, we've got like 20 subscribers, which is about how many videos or how many views I thought we would get, not subscribers. So that's I'm pretty happy with that.
I'd say probably 97.5% of those are probably family and friends, but who cares?
Hey, I'll take it, man.
That math checks out,
I'll take what I can get.
at least. Yeah? Why?
Yeah. Because I said so. Better watch out. That whiskey, it'll get you.
Nah.
Speaking of supplements, I heard on this podcast that glutathione, which is an antioxidant, I forget where it comes from, but I heard that helps your kidney and liver functioning, and it can actually like speed up their functioning. So if you get really intoxicated, what you should do is take that supplement, glutathione. So I experimented. I had like 4 or 5 drinks, so I was feeling it, obviously. And then I drank like whatever. I took it comes in, the one that I have comes in a pill, but I took the dose of that, and to see if it would make me like sober up real quick, because that's what they said on the podcast. Like it's real quick, like 30 minutes, like clear mind. I did not have a clear mind in 30 minutes. So I don't know, maybe like my body is broken and not functioning, or maybe it's a hoax. I don't know. Glutathione. It's an antioxidant though, so it's supposed to be good for you. Sorry, what were we saying?
You know what sobers you up real quick?
Life.
Physical, the physical exercise.
Yeah.
You remember that time? I don't know if you remember it. We were both in college. I think you might know where I'm going with this.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about stories of people running when they were intoxicated. I don't know what occasion though.
That's what happened. You remember that time I was at a football game. You were sick in your dorm room. I was hammered.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, and I thought, he needs my help. I gotta go. So I ran all the way from Lad People Stadium all the way to the university. It's like almost 10 miles.
It's not 10. I think it's like 6 though.
No, it was more than that. It took me a long time.
It's a lot, that's for sure. And yeah, this was after you were quite
It
intoxicated.
was shit
You,
house.
you literally just ran. You just ran. You told me, you're like, I'm coming to you, bro. And it's like, all right, man.
I had plenty
Yeah,
of
I'll be
carbs on
here.
board, you know?
It's like, I'll be here in bed.
Let me
And
tell you,
you literally ran like all the way over.
I literally,
Crazy.
dude, it was nuts. And within the first mile, maybe, if that, probably not even. I mean, back then a mile was a lot for me, but back then, like within that first mile, I was sober. It was nuts. And I was like, well, I'm already a mile away from all the fun and I'm kind of close to home and I'm kind of tired now. So I'm just going to jog it out. So I just ran all the way back. Hang on. I'm going to Google the distance between Lad People Stadium and the university real quick. Just because I
Do
need
it.
to know.
You're a madman. And add like half a mile to get to where the dorms I was living in.
Lad
Yeah.
People's Stadium.
Yeah, that was funny. That's just like, that shows what a good friend you are though. Like those are your base instincts. You know, people like default to like their real self when they're drinking. So your default was like, I gotta be with my boy. He's not feeling good. I'm coming.
I gotta get to my buddy.
Crazy.
I don't know if I can actually like look this up.
Just call it out.
Well, don't press me now.
You can connect it to like the rec center. 'Cause I live real close to the rec center. I guess all the dorms are close to the rec center.
I took Spring Hill, so it was 8.2 miles.
That's crazy, dude. You're a madman.
Hey, Toby needed me, and I was on the way.
You're on the way.
I gotta be honest, I don't remember. I remember getting to Taco Bell. You know that Taco Bell that was like up the hill from the university?
Yeah.
I got to there, and then I saw somebody we knew. I don't remember who. They stopped and said, "Do you need a ride?" I said, "No,
no time."
So I went into Taco Bell and said, "Hey, drunk." I guess I was sober. I don't know. I said, "Hey, can I have a water cup? I haven't had water." I get water, chug it.
Look at this guy. You're probably like drenched with sweat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy's on drugs.
And I don't even remember. Did I even go to your room? I don't even know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, man.
I think you did. I think you showed up and you were there briefly and I sent you away because I just wanted to lay in bed.
You're like, I'm actually fine. You could have stayed at the ball game, but whatever.
I was sick. I could have gone. I just really didn't want to go because I was feeling crappy. I wasn't like dying or anything. It was like a bad head cold.
I ran 8.5 miles to do nothing for you.
I never asked you to do that, but it feels great. It shows that you're such a good friend. I remember like trying to talk you out of it. Be like, no, like it's fine. Like I'm just like kind of sick. I'm good. Have everything I need. I'm just gonna like stay. I'm just gonna stay in bed. You're like, no, I'm coming. I'll be there. It's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for me when you get here? Like yeah.
I wasn't having it.
What a good friend you are. Kelsey will like this one. She'll like this bromance story.
I don't know if I ever told her that story.
Yeah, that's why she'll like it.
I told Avery that story, and I think her exact wordage was, "You're crazy." Well,
yeah,
right. You got me
You're
there.
not wrong. You're not wrong. What about Avery? Does Avery want to be seen on the podcast?
I don't know. She was like, I don't know. Hopefully. I haven't really like asked her. I said, "Hey, you should come on the podcast." She's like, "Well, I don't know. You might make fun of me." I was like, "Well, you're probably right."
Say, well, we will. That's for sure. We'll give it some time. We'll let the podcast get a little better. We're more respectable.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Throw the pot first. No, just kidding. I like to do that at work, and it's good because I've only been here for like 6 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks. So I really don't know the people that well yet. So I like to do little stuff to try to like instigate shit, get people like upset with one another, just in like playful ways. Be like, yo, like so and so stop getting crap about your presentation yesterday. Like I thought it was good, man. I don't know why you would say that. Little things like that. I just like to keep people on their toes. It's good for morale. For
Agreed.
me. I don't know about everyone else, but for me and the people that know what I'm doing, but it's not like about them, it's good for morale.
Oh, fair enough. Hello.
Bless you.
That was a cough.
No,
Bless you too.
I'm not taking it back.
All right.
Well, I think I'm running out of things to ramble about for our viewers. I think it's a good place to wrap it up.
Columbia.
We're not talking about Columbia. Next podcast, I want you to leave out Columbia.
I'm not going to make any promises.
Oh man. All right, that's fair. Well, hey, for everyone that still listens to our podcast, thank you.
Yeah, cheers to you. You're pretty cool.
All right, cut it. cut the recording.
Really?
Yes.
Hang on, let me figure out how to do it.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have to leave this in here now because I made that comment about no editing.
I found the stop recording button. I'm gonna press it and right